Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and I guess he's had his time. I guess it's time for Reno to get Prince Reno. We actually don't know what the changes are going to be, but a balance patch teaser has been posted. We have 0 buffs incoming. We have 0 class card nerfs coming. We have 3 neutrals that will be nerfed. We'll go over what they are, what I expect them to be. Am I livid about Reno? Because, well, it's not even like in a tier 1 deck. It's barely in tier 2. Regardless, we'll talk about it. And there's also some battlegrounds changes and duos changes. And they mentioned that twist decks will also be updated, whether it's nerfed hero powers, passives, the deck list changing. We'll have more specifics when those patch notes go live. I'm thinking with the patch on Thursday. I don't know if they said because I have only the images early. Thank you to Blizzard for that, so I could make a Reno rant early. I'm not going to rant about it, I promise, but we'll talk about the changes. And of course, we still have our giveaway going on for 2 regular operators, 1 mega bundle out of my pocket, 4 Perils in Paradise. To enter that giveaway, like and comments in the video, link down in the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I will add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go broke. You can put skip Reno to the timestamp we're at now, because yes, these are the cards that are getting nerfed. We have the teaser images here. Reno, it looks like the virus module for Zilliax and Celestial Projectionist. And yeah, Reno, currently at 9 mana, giving 5 armor, a battlecry for your deck, start with no duplicates, empty the enemy board, and limit to 1 space for a turn. I pitched very heavily for this card not to be countered by plagues and all that, because it was frustrating, not only for the cycle decks to abuse it, but, you know, for actual Reno decks to be able to play their cards when they get plagues and bombs and all that stuff. And when I mentioned that change way back when, I said if you make it 9 or 10, I don't think it's a big deal. It just has to be, you know, that I can play my card. And the card itself, if we look at HS Replay, we look at the meta right now, it's not in a top tier deck at Legend. It's all Paladin, all like Warlock, and now this Dragon Druid has emerged that's really solid. It's like a sleeper deck out of nowhere, doing really good. If you want to look for Highlander decks, you got Highlander Hunter, Highlander Paladin, and then a bunch of stuff. But it makes up a huge amount of the player base, right? Like if you look at the percentage of decks, you got Reno almost in a third of decks, although the deck win rate less than 50%. It's getting nerfed. That's where I think it's silly and it's very Renethal, right? People just like playing the late game cards, so they're nerfing it. How are they going to nerf it? I really hope that it's just going to 10 mana. The card is barely playable as it is. As you're seeing those numbers, it's not crushing it, right? Like, it is gonna get worse, and it's already barely hanging on to tier 2. My guess on this is they don't want Reno dominating yet another expansion launch, right? Just Reno talk. They want other cards to get the limelight, so they very well might murder the card. They might make it 10 mana and like not even restrict the board. They might make the white double-sided, which would be terrible when you have like the Druid reward that would get white from that too, right? My hope is it just goes to 10. Like, that'll still hurt it a lot. It'll still be the most powerful board clear ever, and you'll leave it at that. I just feel like it might actually be more crazy than that. And the problem is, when you nerf this card, you're nerfing all the other Highlander cards that rely on this card to be good enough to play them. And we don't get dust for that. So I'm hoping they don't kill it. I'm hoping it just goes to 10. I understand there are a ton of people that hate it. Hell, there's people that make hate videos about me, about Reno, because apparently Reno, I'm the reason Reno exists like it is. So again, at 10 mana, I could live with it. I think that would be fine. It's still a playable card. It won't be super powerful, but when it wins, it'll still have that horrible feeling when you get board restricted and all that, right? Like, it's still gonna have that negative feeling. Or they go all out, take the board limiting thing out too, and then the card just loses all of its power and it's just not gonna be worth playing. It'll just fall off like a cliff, right? Prince Reno saw play at 35 health. For all my crying about Prince Reno, it saw play every day at like tier 2 to the day he rotated. Reno at 10 mana would probably still see that play. So I guess this is just my cope session. I'm hoping it just goes to 10, but yeah, you might want to anticipate possibly even worse. If you're a fan of the card, or if you're a Clark Hellscream or some of my haters out there, you'll just be really happy that it gets murdered. And, well, you'll be able to celebrate that while I cry a river. Next, we have Zilliax. And I think we can all agree, almost all of us, that Unkilliax is a little bit silly. The whole virus module here is just frustrating, right? You can't target it. You can't do anything about it. You really need to play Yogg in every deck to try and counter it. So what are they going to do to the virus module? I imagine they make it more expensive. They could take some health off of it, although the health I don't think makes a big deal considering it's poisonous and divine shield. If you got the perfect module going on, I feel like they just make it more expensive. So it takes a little bit longer to get out. Maybe they take a health off of it on top of it to make it slightly easier to remove, but it's got to be that virus module. It's just, again, second straight patch for Zilliax that they're going to nerf that specific module. It lost stealth. You could take the elusive away too, I guess, but then what are you really, like, you're never playing this module ever if you take that away. So I imagine it goes up 1 mana, maybe 2 if they're feeling crazy, and that would be the change. And I will note that Zilliax is the fastest card in Hearthstone history to get nerfed 3 times. But when you have like 40 plus combinations in one, it's not a huge shock when they're pushing power level the way they are. And yes, I expect the card still be absolutely playable because ticking's still good, the pylon module's still good, perfect module is still good. You're still gonna play this card even after it is nerfed for a 3rd time. And the one that I'm the happiest to see on this list, the most surprised besides Zilliax, I'm just happy it's getting nerfed. That should be nerfed. Celestial Projectionist. And my hope for this card is that they put the not less than 1 on it, but more realistically, this card's probably going to 3. It's just a problem in like every giant deck right now. And we're getting another new giant, right? So you might want to, you know, just hedge your bets a little bit and nerf those flood decks because we are nerfing 2 of the best survival cards in the game, while all the best decks in the game are aggressive flood decks, right? All the best decks are being left alone, but a lot of these decks, let's say Pain Warlock, let's say, what else is there? I believe Zarimi Priest, and then there's that whole Miracle Rogue deck that, yeah, Miracle Rogue, they all run this card. So there's a little bit of decks getting hit, but yeah, Flood Paladin, Dragon Druid, Sludge Warlock, they're not, but I would expect it probably to go 3, right? So that it might even get like a stat increase, go to like a 4/3, be 3 mana, so you can't play it as easily with a 0 mana giant. And then, you know, it's not completely, you got Zola, which is a legendary, which does something pretty similar, although not temporary. This is 2 mana rare, you can run duplicates of, and most importantly at 3, you can't shadow step it and play it for 0. But what about removing Shadow Step from the core set to open up some other things? How about that? Can we do that? Can I not face the same minion 80 times in a row against Rogue every single game? Anyways, yeah, those are the 3 cards that will get changed. We don't know the actual changes. Those will be posted, I believe, with the patch notes. I think they're coming on Thursday. I haven't seen the tweet. I don't know if they've confirmed it. But yeah, Tuesday, Thursday are usually patch days. And stay tuned. Later today, we have 3 review videos. Every hour, starting next in an hour from this video's launch, there's a review video. So tons of content, 4 videos in one day. That might be a little bit too much, Zeddy, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.